Hello primary teachers, today we are going to give a quick, simple and effective overview of place value for stage 2 and how to implement it in a classroom. Benton and colleagues described place value as a key mathematical concept, defined as the value represented by a digit in a number on the basis of its position. Understanding place value involves quantifying sets of objects by grouping 10 and treating the groups as units. These concepts are learned in the number and algebra section of the Stage 2 syllabus, so now we are going to have a look at some strategies to teach key aspects of place value in the classroom, including tools and ways to combat common misconceptions.
Place value builds on from Stage 1 learning, integrating students' understanding of basic number knowledge of counting forwards and backwards to 10 and beyond, and quantifying objects by grouping them in tens. Some different forms of representation include concrete materials, models and online tools like MAB blocks and place value maps. Applying these representations assists students to build connections to create a more coherent understanding of place value. Place value development is done through students understanding that ones, tens and hundreds are separate. As it is important for students to write the numbers in their respective columns, this is a method that has been used for decades.
Partitioning numbers is a helpful way to teach the different values of each digit. It is where we break down the whole number to show what components it is made up of. Expanded notation is a great way to explore this. Let's take this number for example. When we expand the number, it becomes 40,000, 500, 10 and 8. Number expanders are a useful tool to explain expanded notation and help students to use non-standard partitioning. Have a look at my homemade expander. Take note that this number has a 0 in the thousands column. Students often have trouble understanding the roles of 0 and often ignoring it. This misconception leads to an inaccurate understanding of place value. Hartnett suggests thinking of zeros as placeholders to show there are no digits of a particular value. This can be tricky for students, but it's important they understand this concept.
One of the common difficulties in place value is the idea of exchanging numbers from one place value to another when adding and subtracting. When completing additional sums, two common misconceptions often occur. When adding, students drop the tens instead of carrying it to the next column. A similar misconception is when the student writes the two numbers in the units and then does not carry them over to the value of tens column. Through using the MAB blocks and maps, students will physically be able to group the objects up to the value of 10 and then exchange from column to column.
When thinking about place value, do not forget to incorporate decimal places. This can be really tricky for students to comprehend, so make sure to model appropriate names of the decimals. For example, tenths or hundredths. A wise woman named Heather McMaster once said the decimal is a marker for the ones column. So students need to know that everything to the right of the decimal point is a fraction, not a whole number. Try using length and measurement thinking, number lines, and of course our trusty place value charts to help students visualize these concepts.